Codecs stands for compressor and decompressor, compressing a file to make it smaller and decompress to make it work with a video player. The one popular codec that I'm going to focus here is the H.264, which is probably what you're using for recording and for sure live streaming. The difference between X.264 and H.264 is one is open source and the other isn't. In fact, they are pretty much the same. The type of the file you're gonna see in a video after recording is the container. MOV, MKV, FLV, AVI, WMV, MP4, and many other containers. Each one has their own characteristics, such as supporting variable frame rates and bit rates, subtitles, and other formats, etc. You also know them as extensions. Do not confuse codec with container. Inside the codec, there are a lot of jobs going on, such as bit depth, Chroma Sub sampling, bitrate, and many others. If you want to get more in depth about these, check the links in the description. It will also help you to get the best quality for video recording. Now, you have probably already watched a video about someone teaching you how to set up your OBS or any other live stream software in order to enhance your content. Well, if you really pay attention, they are not teaching you, they are more like sharing the settings for you and trying to explain what each one does without going too much in depth. Kinda just like this video, not so much though. Before, let's try using OBS with the default settings. OBS comes using X.264 constant bitrate control at 2.5 megabits, not bytes. Keyframe setup on auto or 0, a very fast preset for CPU encode, none for profile, none for tone. You might not see all those settings because maybe you are using OBS in a simple mode and that's no problem. And if you just choose changing the encoder to H.264, these are the defaults. I'm gonna be using H.264 since everyone also does prefer, by not impacting the game performance. On Video Settings tab, the base resolution is going to be your screen native resolution. You can change to whatever you want to. And you want to change the output to be 720, since most of the live streams are 720 also. Down filter scale is bicubic and FPS at 30. In Advanced tab, on Video Sections, color format needs to be NV12. Color space, it is at 601 and color range is partial. Those you can change if you want to, but be aware though, the servers might take some time to transcode the video and then be able to broadcast to your viewers. Anyway, these are pretty much the bit depth, color and Chroma Sub sampling. Leave as it is unless you want to record only. Those are the defaults. The following games are CSGO, Tekken 7 and Redout. Each game has their unique motion frames, colors and details, thus allowing us to see what it is the problem. Higher bitrate equals to better image quality, but also you must consider and respect the bitrate with resolution and frame rate. Imagine this. We have a car that runs at 2.5 megabits. Then we have a track where this car needs to run. It's called 30 frames per second circuit as an example. Before racing, we have the training section and then we have the qualifying section. In training section, we have all day to set up the car, making some tweaks such as changing the suspension, gears, tire pressures, aerodynamics, etc. Then, at the same time, we can monitor and analyze the car performance on track by all the data that we are receiving by the sensors inside the car. Finally, our goal is to do minor changes in order to achieve the best lap times results, so we can qualify and racing better. Now, here's the thing, we have already tweaked the car to run at 2.5 megabits per second. The computer says at that speed, it will take 1.5 seconds to complete a full lap. But this track is special though. In every 1 second, the track will refresh itself, giving more 30 frames for the car to run into it. That's why is it called a 30 frames per second circuit. Duh. So, if the car doesn't have speed enough to complete one full lap in 1 second, this is what happens. In order to fix that, we need to make the car runs at the exactly same time as the frames, or much faster than that. And how we do that? Increase the bitrate. So if you do have a higher upload speed and even leave alone, good. You can use all the upload that you have without worries. But if you do have a very limited upload speed and also share your connection with someone else, then you have to limit this, putting some respect with people that are also using the same connection. Remember, never stream using 100% of your upload speed. Like if you have 5 MB, do not set up as 5 MB on OBS. Now, if you do have 1 MB per second as upload speed, lots gonna say that it is impossible. Isn't. You can use 750 Kbps or 600 Kbps to stream non-motion games, like Hearthstone, Yu-Gi-Oh, or even games like VRChat. I know it is the poor quality nowadays, but not impossible, okay? Now, the most important quote here is knowing the platform where you're sending the video to, knowing the settings for this platform. The link of those two websites such as YouTube and Twitch that shows you how to configure your codec to live streaming are here in the description below. And yeah, that's it. Now the truth. One thing that kills the most the image quality here takes that fidelity out sometimes are the B-frames. There's a lot of illustrations showing up how it does work, but a lot of people doesn't understand at all because they also don't get it how iframes and p-frames works too, which is where the b-frames has the base on. Now listen, I'm not going to explain this, but I will only show the b-frames in action for you. The reason why it's because it will take so much time for me just to explain it. Here's the thing. B-frames might kill your image quality, but helps a lot. At the same time you want to turn it off, you also want to turn them on. You need to know what it is the best scenario to use it and where isn't. You should never use B-frames on scenes where it contains grain, yes, granulation, or even noise. You will understand why if you try it by yourself. But you will get it where is the best scenario to use after learning how I and P-frames works. At the point where you can pretty much tell before recording if you should use or not on the most common resolutions and frame rates. And if you keep questioning to yourself, why B-frames does exist then? B-frames helps a lot for 4K videos and even further than that. Please don't forget to check the links on the description. There is this video on Vimeo by David Kong called How Codecs Work. It's a video from 3 years ago, but it has a ton of informations. Like, he explains so well how codecs work that I believe after watching that video, I guess you can pretty much make your own settings for export footage and how to record them.